Okay, a remake of a 2015 film in 2022. Let's talk about that. What's going on, everyone? Welcome to Movie Emporium's movie review of A Man Called Otto, the newest film from director Marc Forster. Okay, so this film, A Man from Otto, is it's a remake of a Oscar-nominated foreign film from 2015 called Man from Uwe. Pretty popular film. This was an adaptation that was not well received, in the simple fact that that one was popular. But basically, the story sees a man named Otto, played by Tom Hanks, who in essence is a very grumpy individual. You don't really find out till like later on why, but he's an individual that is very particular about the way he runs the street. He is very protective. He's very grumpy. He's very angry. But he can tell that there's a caring underneath his eyes, that he's just been through a lot. And somebody by the name of Marisol and her family move in across the street and kind of turn his life upside down, for the simple fact that they're more outgoing. They find a way to kind of eke into his heart, and we start to unravel what makes Otto the way he is. You know, he's just retired, and why is he in this situation where he just feels like he's so angry all the time. And as you can see, if you've seen the trailer, you understand not only is he moved by this family, but they start to kind of eke into his heart. It's a very much like one of those stories where you have the angry person turn into the good person. That's the kind of story we're dealing with some really dark materials and some really dark meanings and stuff like that. And so, with that said, once again, like I said, this was a movie that was kind of not well received when it came to being put out there to the audience. You know, Man from Uwe was very well received, got an Oscar nomination for Best Foreign Language Film. He got another Oscar nomination, but that was his main nomination. And I didn't really know much about the film. I haven't seen it. But Tom Hanks is a very reliable actor, as we've seen from this point. He's very good at what he does. He is an individual that is well loved. He's basically your America's grandfather at this point. He used to be America's dad, but he's your America's grandfather at this point. And it's a movie that's a holdover from 2022. So even though it's coming out in January 5th as this recording, you kind of go in a little bit of skepticism because it's a remake. It's, even though it's Tom Hanks, it's directed by Marc Forster, who can be hit or miss when it comes to his films. And so I went into this a little skeptical, but I feel like, it's gotten decent reviews. So at least that's got, has something going for it. And so after watching this movie for my official review, this movie is very difficult to watch. I came out with tears in my eyes because it's a movie that is very heartfelt, is very meaningful, but it is a very dark movie. It's dealing with, attempted suicide. It's dealing with tragedy, but it's also dealing with, what it's like to look at yourself in the end of your kind of the end portion of your life, the twilight of your life. How does that affect you? What does that make you do? How does the people that around you, how do they affect you? And that's what this movie it is attempting to do. I'm assuming the original is the same way. And it is a very interesting movie. It's a very dark movie, a movie that very will hit you in the feels. But it's also a movie about hope. It's also a movie about forgiveness. It's also a movie about friendship. It's a movie that has a lot of meanings and sayings about the people that you basically inhabit around you and how you interact with them. Once this family that comes in, the Marisol and her husband Tommy and the two kids, you really get a sense that they're good people, and he just needs to have that lock that is over his heart for what happened with him and his wife to be kind of separated and open, and kind of let that love in, and you start to see that in this movie. And so therefore it really does work as a movie. It really feels authentic in a lot of ways. It's not perfect. Like I said, the darkness of the material gets a little too saccharine. It's a little too uncomfortable in a lot of respects because, like I said, there is some dealings with attempted suicide in this movie, and some of the music and just some of the way this movie plays out. It really feels inconsistent with its tone. It feels inconsistent with like the acting. Some of the acting is much better than others. Tom Hanks is as Tom Hanks does, but you can feel sometimes he's trying a little too hard. And in the end, it's a movie that I feel the positives outweigh the negatives, in the simple fact that it still feels like a very earnest, very honest movie with some, the characters in this movie can feel like stereotypes, but they're actually balanced pretty well. And I think that's helped by people like Mariana Treviño, who plays Marisol. I think she does a really nice job of just kind of counterbalancing the ideas of Otto himself and what he had to deal with. And as we see, I do think some of the flashback stuff, it's a little too compact. It's a little too convenient in how it kind of rolls itself forward. But there is a sweetness there. There is a love there. There is an ability to make these characters feel somewhat unique and kind of idealistic in a lot of ways. It just sometimes it goes a little too far in its material, and that's where the movie struggles when it's like an American remake or its remake abilities, because if the original is as good as it is, you can tell that they struggled to kind of adapt it. It's just the unfortunate nature when you adapt a foreign film into like an American film or another country's film. It just, you can see the kind of the cracks, I guess you could say. But that's kind of where I'll leave it. Like I said, everybody's pretty good in this movie. Mike Birbiglia is in this movie. He plays one of the so-called bad guys or whatever. There's some really entertaining moments. There's some fun moments. There's some laugh out loud moments. There's definitely some sad, tearful moments. And it's a movie that I think, even though it comes out in January, it's a movie I think it's worth watching if you can handle the uncomfortability that the movie does present. So overall, I enjoyed it. It's a pretty good movie. Definitely something I wasn't expecting to go where it did, but sometimes that's just the way things go. So anyways, without further ado, thank you so much for watching. That is my review of Man from Otto, starring Tom Hanks. Comments below if you see this movie. What did you think overall? Did you like it? Did you not like it? All that good stuff. But with that said, thank you as always for watching. If you like what you see, hit the subscribe button to join Movie Emporium. Hit that notification bell top to find out what's coming next. If you like this video, awesome. Hit that like button, and we'll see you guys for the next video I produce. Peace out, guys.